What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your weekly astrology forecast for the week of January 24th through the 30th of 2022. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. Well, I appreciate you all so much. Thanks for joining me for this weekly channeled session. We're definitely going to look at some of these big transits. We got some big ingresses this week. Mars is going to enter its exaltation of Capricorn. Pretty exciting, as it's going to... Venus is just waiting for Mars. She's just like enticing the boys, like, come on, boys. Kind of fun. Powerful times. Kind of serious, though. A lot of Capricorn, and Mercury is going to ingress back into Capricorn. We're going to see a dark moon in Capricorn. Oh, yeah. Venus is going to be trine Uranus all week, as it does station on Saturday, the 29th. There's definitely a lot to talk about. I do want to say that I missed you guys last week when I didn't do this show. I know I showed up for the dailies, of course, but I miss doing this show. It definitely is my more just channeled show. I don't pull up any charts anymore, and I don't know. I like it. And I missed talking about the week with you because there was so much that happened last week, and there's a lot that's going on this week, and we're simultaneously feeling like we're just going full speed ahead while also feeling like we got to take that step back. You know, we're also feeling kind of stopped. We're seeing Venus station this week. That's definitely some stopped energy when it comes to our values. It's very interesting getting the moon in Scorpio, making that first quarter square to the sun in Aquarius. It's weird because there's this obsession for connection right now, and there's a lot about where relationships are going. So we're getting a lot of this relationship stuff. And Juno is with Pluto this week. Of course, the asteroid of marriage and divine union. And this Venus is stationed trine Uranus. So, and just being in Aquarius season, of course, people come up big. You can't really get around like relationships and people aspects in our life, and how we can definitely be expecting almost too much from people. And expecting people to want to go into the same things with passion. We're also going to see Jupiter come to 6 degrees of Pisces, and it's going to meet with Eros. So Eros is passing Jupiter. Eros, again, another asteroid that deals with passion and sex and that kind of like desire nature of the human life. And especially with that, fall moon in Scorpio, which will trine Jupiter and trine Neptune. But that's the scary kind of part about it, is we're going to have such deep desires, and this Mars in Capricorn is going to want to get things done. Mars in Capricorn will just relentlessly get to the top of the mountain and handle business. So we're at this point where we want to handle business, but we want to make sure that we're handling it with the right situations in our life, whether it's work or just a love, romance. There's something in, feels like cement, like when I tap into the energy, it's like literally there is cement being poured on the future and the dreams that you're trying to connect to. And the reason I say it's kind of scary that the moon's going to trine Jupiter and trine Neptune while in Scorpio, making that square to the sun, is we're going to have this deep desire for the ultimate connections, the ultimate unions. That's why I brought up those asteroids and where they're at. And some deep desire for something maybe somebody else has. Somebody else's power, and also like disconnection. So there's a detachment and a disconnection that's kind of taking place from certain aspects in our life too, as we have gone inward to reevaluate where our life's going. And this is where that can be hard. That can be felt very intensely this week. And then even as the moon comes into Sagittarius, it will make some nice aspects to Saturn. And remember, the moon in Scorpio is going to oppose Uranus square Saturn. Not only just a third quarter square to the sun, but it's got Saturn and Uranus to deal with too. So, yeah, there is a lot that we've had to contemplate inwardly about ourselves and where we're going and who is coming with us. We don't want to have to drag people to our destination. This is where people are going to go on your destination with you if they're meant to, divinely. There's a deeper calling between unions in life right now. And we don't want to expect so much, right? Because this is where betrayal almost comes up. Like, you betrayed me. You left me. I feel powerless. So I feel like this week definitely brings a lot of that. And then it's like, the powerlessness that could come up could lead us to take the easy way out and escape through different methods in life. So this is one of those weeks where we want to be really careful with where we are escaping. Maybe our own shadow, maybe our own darkness, or are we putting our own shadow and our own dark energy onto other people? Are we projecting? Are we manipulating? It goes both ways. So this is where we got to check ourselves and make sure that we're finding our own transformative powers right now, and our own restructuring of where we're going, and our own restructuring of values in exciting new ways, and not go into some self-undoing, because there's definitely some shadow work gone wrong, self-undoing, like, oh my gosh, there's no other way out but this pill. No, I don't think you guys do that, but I have to say it. It's just like, it's almost like we could want to escape, our own dark side and our own dark night of the soul. Like, I feel like we've collectively gone through a lot of dark nights of the soul. Definitely not a singular thing that the collective's going through. And this week could bring up some of that deep stuff again. And do we really want to numb ourselves from it, or do we want to kind of boss up? There's so much Capricorn energy. Mars in Capricorn, Venus stationing, going to go direct. Mercury with Pluto. There's a lot going on in this area of our life where we have to take our own emotional responsibility. We have to take responsibility for ourselves. Remember that North Node's in Taurus. If you can be responsible for yourself and not worry so much about other people in our lives and the direction that they're heading, but focus on your direction, you'll find much more power, because this is almost setting people up for like to be let down by something they thought was going to stick. So there's the cement being poured, but there's also like the stick and the glue is also wearing off in certain areas of life. So we don't want to like pour cement on something that we don't want to be permanent, or that we're not feeling sort of a mutual exchange with. So responsibility is very important. I think it's, important to bring up Black Moon Lilith now in Cancer. We have so much in Capricorn. There's Black Moon Lilith in Cancer all week, and definitely having to not hide or put up our shell when it comes to our own insecurities. Like our securities just have to be known within ourselves. And I think Mercury's trying to go like, yeah, we can connect a lot of things for the future. There's a lot we can do with people. There's a lot we can figure out. There's so much more that is out there. And it comes back into Capricorn and meets with Pluto. And it's like, let's get extra serious about these things. Like, we're at a point where there are certain aspects in our life that are trying to kick us in the butt to go into the future that we're meant to. And then there's also aspects that we're fighting that are trying to change, so that we can make some of the most powerful changes to go into the future we're meant to, but we don't want to because we're comfortable in a future that is, or not even a future, but a now that, is it even comfortable? I don't know if it's comfortable or not. We got to ask ourselves these questions on a personal note and realize that other people are going through and asking themselves these questions too. So we got to give people some benefit of the doubt here. It is Aquarius season after all, and we are still in a lot of Capricorn, and we're still in a Capricorn lunation, but we got to figure out a win-win but not settling for less too. Like, this is a win-win by saying, all right, the connection's not there. Like, my wave's up here, your wave's down here, whatever. Or my wave's down here, your wave's up here. I don't know which wave of Aquarius is the right wave to be on there. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is just your unique sort of place to be. There's a lot of genius when you get back to the courage to be your unique self, right? The Leo polarity of Aquarius is something we don't want to lose track of, which I think is very interesting that these nodes have been squaring Regulus, which I haven't talked about, but I was just looking at the chart and I was like, oh wow, yeah, these nodes were square Regulus for a long time at 0-0 Gemini and Sagittarius. Of course, Regulus has moved into, it now sits exactly at 008 of Virgo. So that, that happened in our skies, of course, a while back. I believe that was 2012-ish too. But still, this is our heart. And it's also, Maga is in Regulus, and Maga deals with like past life memories. It's very nostalgic. And with, of course, Black Moon Lilith in Cancer, we can want to try and stay or be scared of our own shadow and our own securities and not do the work necessary. But in reality, this is a time of doing the work necessary and not being afraid. Being afraid is a big one. You know, we really want to stay out of that South Node in Scorpio, which is trying to bring up fears in our life and a lot of insecurities. Scorpio is not really a secure sign. It desires emotional security and passion. It wants it, but it has to know when to let go too. Those pinchers on that Scorpion can be tight and sharp. So we have to know when to let go of things. This is a big week for that, especially with the moon in Scorpio, square the sun. It's going to be about letting go of the things that are not connecting fully. There's no spark. Venus trine Uranus. There's got to be a spark when it comes to what you're trying to create in life right now. There's got to be a spark with your creative potential, with your creative energy, with your self-confidence, with relationships. If there's not some like, ooh, yeah, this could be pretty beneficial. This could be abundant is a good way to look at it. This can have the payout at the end in whatever fashion, whether it's money or not, which money is important right now. This is a pretty big time to like consider your finances and consider where money's going. Like, I'm going to be completely honest. Got to pay attention to that stuff right now. Investments, if you're in any markets, whether it's crypto, traditional, you name it, there needs to be some serious look at what you're investing in. Are you comfortable in it for the long term? Because if you're just looking for a quick fix and you're not like well versed in the trading realms, it's looking like I would imagine a lot of volatility, which can be great if you play the volatility and you know what you're doing, but that takes, a skill of its own and a confidence too. It does take that Taurus polarity of knowing the value of certain assets in life to make moves on them and to move things around. We're going to have to do different things with our money. That's just the fact of the matter. Uranus and Taurus, square Saturn, very interesting too for financials. Of course, that's still in square, but it is breaking apart. It's much wider now. Saturn is going to come to 15 degrees. And that's another thing too, is Saturn and Jupiter are starting to really move. Jupiter's out of shadow, Saturn's out of shadow, Pluto's out of shadow. There are so much energy that is going into new places. And it can feel a lot like 1776, to be honest, with where Pluto's at right now. February 22nd, we are going to see the first exact hit of the Pluto return of America, and in June, we'll see the second. And I haven't looked at the exact date for the third yet, but there'll be 3 hits this year. Actually, it might even come into next year. So it's a long transit of that Pluto return. There's a lot that we're trying to go into the future for, but this is like, what future do you want to connect to? And what are the things that you've gone inwardly to realize about what is connecting, what is solid, what is building, what is valuable, what is worth your time and energy? This is a powerful time. Mars is going to give you so much gusto to make shit happen. This is exciting. I'm so excited for February with Mars and Venus. I really am. I think it's just giving us all the energy we need to keep our footing up this mountain of life and how to dedicate to something. And it's something that you're truly passionate about. So there's a lot of things, and that's the thing with the South Node in Scorpio. It brings up the things we're passionate about. And passion is a great thing. This week has a lot of passion in it. But we want to make sure that we're going into the things that we are individually really passionate about, or the connection's just not there. And at some point we gotta kind of take a look at that. And that's the seriousness of Capricorn. It's big decisions, grown-up moves in life. So we're all kind of going through another kind of grow up after somewhat of another dark night of the soul, because there are these intense moves that are being made. It's almost like being in like a really intense game of chess, and like, do I make this move? Is this going to set me up? What are they going to do? And we can be feeling a lot of that, but still having this strong desire to produce. So there's something about we're so ready to produce, and we've been in a Venus retrograde for 30, as I filmed this video, it's been what, 33 days, so it's been a while, 40 days, 40 nights of Venus retrograde, and we're at that tail end. And it is this like stopped moment, trine Uranus, where the greatest accomplishments are going to come from the route that you never thought was possible, the ways to create abundance that you may have never thought were possible. They were never an option before. Like, they're actually an option now. And just getting Venus retrograde and Mercury retrograde in Capricorn at the same time, we have not seen since 1990. So it's a big revamp of so much of our Capricorn energy in your own chart. And just as a collective, we are restructuring time here. Pluto's kind of done that. I don't know if you guys feel about time. I've mentioned it before, but time is just not what it used to be. We're on different planes of existence when it comes to time, all of us individually. The thing with time right now is, to me, it feels like it used to be a very objective thing. Everybody kind of agreed on it. Now it's such a subjective thing, depending on your consciousness or where you're at or what you're trying to do in life. Like, it's very subjective. So what's your subjective timeline looking like? And are you ready to take a leap for whatever that timeline looks like is going to have the greatest potential outcome? This is destiny stuff. It really is. It's destiny for the greatest timeline connection that you have maybe ever been on or ever considered or contemplated. And big things about desires with Eros and Jupiter. And even Mars is going to start to make the sextile over to Jupiter. So there's like really cool magical things. There's a strong Jupiter in Pisces, a strong exalted Mars in Capricorn. Oh my gosh. You want to see your miracles happen? This is where you got to take the odd route. And I would say that it's really after this week, like coming into February is like, just wait. If you don't feel like you're on another timeline now, you'll be on another timeline in February, and you're going to have so much starting power. But we're also in Aquarius season. That's a fixed sign. So we're going to have, a starting power, but also a staying power and a hold on power to that timeline and to that connective energy that matches with our individuality, with our own uniqueness, our beauty, our genius. Everybody is special. Some people are more special than others. I'm just kidding. We're all special and unique, but how are we connecting? And what are we connecting to? Hopefully it's like something badass, because that's where the big abundance is going to come through, like mystical sea goat shit, Pisces and Capricorn. The imagination has no boundaries right now. This can put us into very weird spaces mentally, of course. You're either feeling like you can create abundance right now, or you're feeling like you have nothing to create. And that can put us in a very weird, isolated headspace too. So, depression is very Piscean energy. And with the two strongest planets in Pisces being Jupiter and Neptune, which we haven't seen them since 1856. It's a once-in-a-lifetime transit. It feels like we just get once-in-a-lifetime transit on top of once-in-a-lifetime transit these days, like, especially since 2020. Like, and people wonder why nothing's normal. It was never meant to be normal right now. So we don't want to be in some delirium or depression right now. We have to get out of depression by the physical nature of reality. There's nothing else. Like, that's where we're going to have better understandings. And even Pluto and Mercury meeting up this week with Mercury retrograde in its final week of retrograde is the deep investigative discoverer, like going deep and finding your power to create, to build, to accomplish. We have to find that deep understanding of our integrity and to hold that line and also to let what isn't of that integrity go bye-bye. It's such an intense week of like something's changing and something's leaving and something beautiful that's trying to be more connected is finding its way to you. So, between like holding on to stuff and starting stuff, it's like, gosh, just don't start or don't hold on to the things you don't want to start and pursue and keep going. Like this is finding the things that you really want to keep going with and just going all out for it. There's something this week that's like, you can have all of the energy in the world to make moves right now. And some moves are meant to be patient for with this Capricorn energy, and some moves are meant to execute. And the boss knows, right? The boss knows if it's time to execute the business plan or what we're going to do to reach new goals and achievements, or when it's time when we got to wait, like we're not there yet. We need to get this dialed in first, and I think we're going to discover and figure out what those are this week. So if you feel like you're on the brink of some type of self-discovery of what is going to bring you something more, you are. And you don't have to rush things, but also there's something about this Venus trine Uranus that's like, even though it's in retrograde, like we can definitely want to do things differently, maybe start things sooner. There could be an impulse. You're going to have to really trust your gut and how things make you feel. If things in life are making you feel beat down and powerless and depressed, these are the things that need to be disconnected from and detached from and let go of, so that you can, close out certain aspects of timelines that they just don't resonate anymore. So I think it's important to focus on frequency, as we are in Aquarius season, and the sun is getting close to Saturn, but it won't meet until next week. But definitely getting close. And then, of course, Monday, we do get a new moon in Aquarius, which is just going to amplify this Aquarius cycle and this Aquarius energy. So there's a lot of ideals and trying to find every little piece to the puzzle and get it to just, this is going to connect. And it's funny, as I say that, the first thing that came to my mind was forcing a puzzle piece into a place it doesn't fit. So this is definitely a week of figuring out where things are no longer fitting, and are we really going to keep pushing something into something that doesn't fit? That was very Scorpionic way to put that. But it is a very Scorpionic week, and a very Capricorn week, and a very Neptunian week. So it's a lot of there's a lot. And then the values and the Taurus energy, of course, with the North Node and being disposited by Venus, station trine Uranus. You have no idea your creative potential. It's hitting places you probably could have never imagined before. And if you haven't seen that spark yet, you're going to. But that spark very well could come through the detachment from things that are holding you back from your creativity. Because you have to be fully unique to yourself. You have to be fully true to whatever you feel most called to. And I think that does come through passions and what do you want to work for. So I think there's a lot going on this week when it comes to work, especially with the Capricorn energy that we're going to be seeing. And all the personal planets are in Capricorn. So the sun is out in front in Aquarius with Saturn, and Jupiter's in Pisces, one sign over. But Mercury, Venus, Mars, a lot of contemplation about what we're going to work towards and build and concrete in. And it's a great week of not cementing yourself into a timeline you don't want to be on. So you gotta make sure you're planning out the stuff that makes you the most fulfilled. There's something too right now about like I'm a generator, right? And you know, whether you're a generator or a manifesting generator, you have to be real honest with your emotions. If you're doing things in life that make you feel frustrated, you're really losing your energy. You're not in a place of happiness and creative potential, and you're just losing sacral energy. So I mean, really, for anybody, in some ways, it's like we got to be cementing in places in life that bring us satisfaction. This is a time of really, because that's where manifestation energy happens, is when you feel good. So you have to feel good and confident about yourself and satisfied and not hold on to a ton of weight. Again, all this Capricorn energy reminds me of like holding so much weight on your back. Like, why do we hold so much? This is a good time to drop some things off. Of course, the 10 of Wands pops into my head with just saying that. Like, we got to drop some stuff off. If we're going to go into a new creative cycle, which is what Mars and Venus meeting in Capricorn and Aquarius is going to do for us, then we have to kind of close some things out. And it's interesting too, because right, we had the Venus-Mars conjunct in Leo, and I think that was August, which was nice, but that kind of like, that's changing now. So really a lot of this is the destiny with the divine unions, which brings me to the Matrix, the new one, Matrix 4, Resurrections. I don't want to give away the whole movie, but a lot of that movie was about divine union and how the divine union is the way out of the Matrix, and that's how you break it, and nothing can stop that. And this, I'm not talking necessarily about like twin flames or things like that, but there is something here about finding the relationships that do set you free in a world where relationships often actually, are the things that hold you back the most. So I don't want to give away that movie, but there's a lot in it about that. And that's kind of what I'm feeling too about this destiny moment, this future moment is, we gotta find the right people that want to create and put in the work together, and not just have people kind of leeching. That kind of jumps into my head too. Like a leech popped up in my third eye that my guide sent me, was people are like leeching energy off of other people. Like, come this way, do this with me, do that. We can't be so codependent right now. We have to kind of be in our own divine union with ourselves and with other people that are in that same kind of energy. This is how you build right now, because we're in a building stage, and and we, it's so funny, and then thinking about just where these transits are and these outer planets, and there's been so many transits that have brought up war, and of course the three biggest wars in history came with these outer planets: Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus ingressing into Uranus, Gemini, Neptune, Aries, and Pluto, Aquarius, Revolutionary War, Civil War, and World War II. And they're all doing that around the same time. And you look around the world right now, too, at like what looks like there could be a lot of wars. We might have to do some serious rebuilding one way or another. Maybe that's not this week, but I'm saying like this is the kind of time where you're kind of finding people that want to build and starting, or at least getting a plan. Like I feel like drawing blueprints is important right now for the future, and the deeper resonance about who can build with you and who's not showing up. And it's not a knock on anybody if they're not showing up. This isn't about putting the blame on people or saying this was you. This is really about self-accountability, which could be a fear this week with Black Moon Lilith in Cancer, is our own emotional accountability and responsibility. We need to be sharp there. So we need to be tailored internally so that we can tailor our external and make abundance come through and make some big things happen. Yeah. Well, channel shut off. I think that's as far as I'm gonna go with that this week. But of course, I'm sending you all my best. We'll definitely break down the weeklies or the dailies. Sorry, and yeah. What a time! It's gonna feel like time is moving time is going to be so interesting. It's going to feel like simultaneously moving 1,000,000 miles per hour into a future and also trying to suck you back into an old one. the channel turned back on for that. Pay attention to what's sucking you back and disconnect from it so that you can go where you feel most called to. This is where your divine guidance is coming through extremely strong to get you moving where you need to move. That's going to be most beneficial for you long term. So much of right now is getting groundwork laid. It doesn't necessarily mean conquering the plan or getting to the top just yet, but it is, formulating a plan, and a good one too, and a different one, and a unique one, and yeah, pretty special. The sun will also sextile Chiron in Aries, and that's definitely, that doesn't suck, It's almost like we can find empowerment in our courage to trailblaze with our individuality right now, as long as we're not feeling, like a weirdo in our individuality or in our identification of who we are. We could all there's so many identification changes that could have taken place. And that's okay. Some people might not get it, but you get it and you feel it. And you probably notice that many, 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 many other people are in that same boat. So that's the beauty of it. There are people, so many people that are in the same boat that want to create something better for themselves that matches the frequency and the timeline that they want to connect to. Let's see what we got here for the cards. We got the Two of Pentacles upright this week. A lot of weighing out. It does feel that way. It's like, gosh, there's new good abundance here, and there's, this is a little crazy over here. Did I like that crazy? Was that the good kind of passionate crazy? Or was that just like the cray-cray? I don't want to mess with that. That's not holding value. So what are we juggling right now? Are we juggling cray-cray with beauty and abundance? Like, why? Like, this is where you kind of got to cut cords and just go towards the things in life that are going to bring the most benefit into your life. Wow, this is a 10 of Cups. Doesn't want to focus very well, but there we go. The ultimate abundance, the ultimate fulfillment, it comes from within yourself. As long as you're feeling secure right now, it's going to be so much easier to draw the plan up. But we can't, we don't want to go through some route of like numbing ourselves to find fulfillment right now. We actually have to like make decisions and do things in the physical realm to get the good emotion. So when you get that good insight and that good feeling and something brings you satisfaction and ultimate happiness and bliss, clearly that is what you want to be choosing and connecting to. You don't need to waver on the ultimate happiness. And the overall is the Six of Cups upright. A little bit of youthful energy, a little bit of nostalgia. Putting that with these cards, it just feels like, there could be some really cool things that happened in the past and some really great things. And maybe those are things that can move into the future. I don't know if necessarily everything has to be overhauled. It can kind of feel like that this week. Like, I just need a complete overhaul. But the things in life that brought you the happiness and beauty in the past, if they still give you that satisfaction and that bliss, you don't have to throw a good thing away. This is about really finding the things that make you feel good this week and really detaching from the things that don't. I'll pull one more card because I feel like it. Five of Swords reversed. Yeah, getting out of our own mental conflicts so that we can feel and pursue the bliss. And, maybe we got to hold the line a little bit. I feel like there's a coldness a little bit. It is Aquarius season. There's like a coldness, and we can be a little blunt with people. This Five of Swords is saying like try to create a win-win in life. This doesn't have to be like heavy death blows to people, or if people are delivering you heavy death blows, that's clearly not satisfaction or good times. So we got to kind of where are people really attacking and causing this mental strife in your own mind, and moving past that. And if you can move past that, there's bliss and there's good memories that can be created with that past in a new way. So that's the thing too, is there's going to be a lot of new creation. So, use the past to your benefit. You've lived it for a reason, but there's something exciting and new and different out there that can be created also. I'm sending you all my best. I love you all very much. I hope that you enjoyed this, and can't wait to see you all for the daily horoscopes. Definitely check out highvibe.tv. Lots of amazing content on there. Of course, the Leo King is on there, and he's putting out his dailies, and they are always top-notch, and a bunch of other shows. Full Disclosure with Natalie Sadie. He's got the Leo King live on Mondays. Paula Deide is a great health astrologer. Tim, he's really good. Tamara is a channeler. There's so much talent on there. It's definitely worth it if you like, even like my horoscopes. Yeah, but there's other people doing amazing channeling that it's worth it. So definitely check it out. Sending you all my best. I'll catch you for the rest of the week. There's a lot to break down this week, and I'm looking forward to it. So much love. Peace.